Circuit.
Welcome to another episode of the Unicorn Circuit, your weekly dose of car news, fanking inanity, mailbags. Today, we're starting with something a little bit different. We're messing with the program.
We're getting straight into the bag.
Because, that's right, let me show you this box that's arrived.
It's a pretty trash box, man. Look at it.
Now,
what's that sticker say?
The sticker here, I just want to read what this says, because it says, "Dear customer, this article was received in Australia in this condition and has been rewrapped by Australia Post from Sydney Gateway Facility."
Postage paid Honolulu, Hawaii.
Honolulu, and he's paid $48.95. Martin, can you do a quick conversion for me and work out what that is in Australian dollars?
Sure.
So the person that has sent us this, which is Aaron Anderson, has spent $50 US on postage.
Which is,
so
my thing works.
I'd like to open
$70.
$70. So we're gonna attend to that in a minute.
We'll sort that
I've
out.
seen just inside this hole.
Just the tip.
It's all. I'll show you what I've seen. Just that. Martin, it's time.
Is that a bonnet scoop? Wait, what is that? Oh, this is a letter.
It says 23 honk on it. Oh, no, dude, you should get the car and I should get the letter because I think that's...
Oh, it's folded up. It's a... Dude, is that a super turbo? That's a super turbo. That's a handmade super turbo?
That's a handmade... That's a...
Oh, dude, it's got Velcro. It's got a boot.
It's got a boot.
It's got a boot with snacks in it!
A boot...
Oh, this might be the best thing.
Can we just show you what's going on?
Oh, dude, the Hawaiian snacks.
Someone has made a car. The bonnet opens.
The bonnet opens backwards, the same as the car.
Oh, it is actually
backwards.
Is
this like a random
I've got to
bag?
get to the letter because I know we normally save this stuff for the end, but the amount of effort that's gone into this...
This is at the end of Unicorn Circuit episodes, by the way, if you've never hung around that long.
Yeah, that's normally what happens at the end.
Ginger wafer cookies.
Marty and Moog. I've been a long-time follower of the show since someone introduced me to your show and Initial D back in 2012. Both have such a great combination of nuggety cars and amazing music. I've been watching ever since.
Oh, there's wheels.
I currently... No.
There's wheels. Where do they go? They're going...
Is that a spare wheel?
No, dude, there's all sorts of parts. I'm going to put it together. You keep reading.
Oh, there's parts. Okay, awesome. All right, I currently live in a high-rise and I can't work on my car, so I've picked up sewing as a hobby and I saw episode 102 as an opportunity to give back to the show. That was the episode where we reached out to you guys and said, can someone make us a new food bag?
So much effort.
My sewing projects up until this point have been quilt and simple pieces of clothing, with a jinbei being my favourite. So this was out of my comfort zone. The project took longer than expected. We can tell, by the way. That's amazing.
This is so cool.
It's got axles. Fire up. This is so cool, by the way.
This is amazing.
The project took longer than expected. I'm proud of the work. I'm looking forward to seeing it in future episodes if you choose to use it. Aloha, Aaron Anderson.
Dude,
Extra
this is
information.
amazing.
Oh, Martin, this is about to get amazing. Check this out. The rest of the car's in the trunk, as well as a strap to be attached to the wheels for carrying if desired. I didn't add a liner since it was getting thick in layers and I couldn't figure out how to add it. The materials used. Check this out, Martin. There's a materials list.
Yeah.
White scrub pants.
Oh.
Navy dress blues. I'm getting out and no longer need them.
Oh, he's from the Navy.
I think so. Old lunchbox for the foam. Scraps from previous projects. Buttons and Velcro from a local store. A friend's cry cut for the print on the bottom. Care, it should be able to be washed and air dried. My main concern would be the foam and spray adhesive holding it in. The snap buttons aren't holding as well as expected, so be gentle. Aaron Anderson.
This is amazing, dude.
This is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sending us
this. It's a March
this.
Super Turbo. It's so random.
We do have your address, I believe, on the box. Let me just check that because we're going to get some stuff over to you in Hawaii. We do have your box. Oh,
I'm going to hook you up.
We have your box here with the address, but some of it's been ripped off. So we're going to get in touch with you.
Dude.
We're going to get... That is just amazing.
It needs like we'll put a little bit of card in there just to hold the chassis straight.
Thank you so much.
That is so
That
cool,
is just
man.
amazing.
I've never seen anything like that before.
That's incredible.
Look at the
Thank
front.
you.
It's actually got like the front little weird golf.
Yes, and
golf
the little 23 honk. That's an amazing gift.
Sit there.
And thank you so much for taking the time. It can stay there the whole time, and
we've
there's
got
going to be
snacks
some of
for
these to
later
eat
as well.
as well throughout the show. Thank you. Thank you also to the other people
Wow.
that have made us some mad bags. We've got them over here. We'll be using them on the show. But for today, we will be using this one. There it is. That's amazing. Let's just dive right into the news.
Something very newsworthy to do with cars, particularly new cars, is the chip shortage. If you've got an old car, you probably don't care. Why? Because maybe you don't have that many chips to begin with.
No chip shortage here, mate.
Your car just works, so it's not actually a thing. But for people who are trying to get into new cars, and once upon a time, even your old car was someone else's new car, so it's kind of necessary, there's a lot of cars that are just stuck in ports and warehouses, just with ECUs
The
and other things.
crunchiest chip I've ever had. The crunchiest chip I've ever had.
Oh, ginger?
It's a ginger sweet chip.
I don't hate it.
Listen,
it's weird,
just listen to the crunch for a second.
Whoa. It's like halfway between a ginger biscuit and a chip.
I love that. I can't eat it though. No one's going to hear what we're saying.
Yeah, that's not bad. Anyway, there's a lot of cars that are stuck in ports and warehouses, as you may know. But the other thing that's happening is cars are still being delivered, but minus features.
Yep.
So if you order like a 2023 i30 or i20N or something, they might say, cool, you get the i20N, but you don't get this, you don't get that, you don't get that stereo. I've got a very short list of some of the stuff that you can't get, which I think is interesting to see what people are missing out on when they're buying new cars. For example...
That was, sorry to interject, the Harman Kardon sound system in the Mark 8 Golf R's.
That's
not available.
That's on my
list. Not available. And
yep.
so they gave people, I think, a $1,000 discount.
Yeah.
But I think the problem with that, I don't think that stereo is worth $1,000. Normally the sound and whatever vision package on a Golf is like $3,000 or $4,000. So
exactly.
the maths of that aren't quite
And it is a lot better in that case. So Audi's no electric steering column adjustment, no rear cross traffic alerts, BMW, no sunroofs, no panoramic sunroofs, no wireless phone chargers, no head-up displays. Kia, no rain sensors. Mercedes, 8 speakers instead of 9 speakers. So like that, no wireless phone chargers. Mitsubishi, power tailgates, auto window up for your whole car. No digital instrument cluster, which a lot of people are going for. Mini, people know about this, no wiring harnesses because they come from Ukraine, so they can't get them. Tesla, no secondary power steering hardware, which is the backup and secondary power steering control. And if you don't have that hardware, it's hard to move on with your self-driving. So that's something that people have to go later and get added back into their car. Golf R, as you said, no Harman Kardon.
Adding the stuff back in, though, is problematic because obviously some things like getting a better stereo, it's like, I get that. You go, okay, cool, it's nice to have a better stereo. I heard a story from someone who works here at Mercedes that was saying some of the stuff that comes on the base model is not available. In this case, it was some of the stuff in the mirrors that let you know when cars were near you, like your lane safety stuff. Not in and cannot be retrofitted, is what I was told. I don't know if that's accurate or not, and no doubt we might hear from someone, and if so, we'll correct it. But that's what I heard off the radar, was that there are some items, let me clarify, there's some items that are meant to be in the base model car that are not being in there, and people who've ordered these cars months or years ago are just refunding some of their money.
If they're essential items like ECUs, there's just no cars. Now, why did this happen? Automotive manufacturers cut their orders for chips back in the day because they thought, oh, pandemic, COVID, we have no idea what's going to happen. Let's cancel our orders so we don't end up with all this stock that we can't use. And the opposite happened. I mean, after a short delay and people driving around, suddenly there was this massive influx of cash and people needing new stuff. And so that's exactly what happened. And also, you touched on this point too, the skills of retrofitting that stuff, that skill set is sort of not as common as it once was. It's very complicated.
And not just about cars, this is anything now.
This is anything. And there's also... Newsflash, there's a new series coming up, speaking of retrofitting and big jobs. There's a new series coming up on the main channel. Keep an eye out for that. It's dropping later this week.
Yeah, it will be. We'll be dropping in the next little bit. I would say it's probably I reckon it's probably one of the biggest builds of the year and most exciting, which has been really cool. Going from most exciting, let's talk about Suzuki's for a second. Of course, you might have realised now everything's getting expensive, and the problem is that, you know, when you you do a Golf GTI or you do insert whatever kind of car you want here, and people go, you should get back to the JDM Nuggets. Guess what? Those JDM Nuggets are gold nuggets. Thank you.
They are.
$50,000, $60,000, $250,000, depending on if it's, an R34 or something like that. The cars that we used to think were cheap are not cheap anymore. As an example of that, Suzuki have pretty much just come out now and just said, cheap cars are gone. Why are they gone? Because the kind of emissions that they need to kind of meet, the safety equipment and technology, the kind of comfort that people have come to expect means that cars need so much more than they used to have, and that means that they can't actually make them at a price point where they're cheap and cheerful like they used to be. Now, I know maybe 10 years ago, I think the cheapest car in Australia was a Daewoo Matiz.
And before that, it was our little red car.
Yeah, before that, which was like 8 or 9 grand or something
Cure,
like that,
yeah.
the Daihatsu Cure, Mira. And then a little bit after that was a Daewoo Matiz, which had, I think, a no-star safety rating. But that car was basically $10,000 drive away. Suzuki's cheapest car now is some kind of Baleno, but that's about to be discontinued. That's like $18,000, $19,000 before on-road costs. The cheapest car is going to be, I think, the Ignis, or maybe it's called something else. I didn't do my research. But anyway, the cheapest car is going to be about 20 grand before on-road. So we're talking about your entry-level Suzuki on the road, what's that, $22,000, $23,000? It's a lot of money.
And then you got dealer's gadget.
Remember
as
when
well.
Corollas used to be like 14 grand and stuff like that?
Yeah. It was a race to the bottom in that way, but then what also changed with the so these safety ratings, they do change as time goes on. So a 5-star 20 years ago is different to a 5-star today.
They're applicable to the date that they were awarded that.
Exactly. And so back then, you could get 5-star without having much smarts. You could just have enough airbags, just like a manual system, and a basic ECU, cars that are very easy to modify now. And now it's like lane keeping, crash avoidance, radar, cruise,
automatic braking,
braking. The car's much more aware of what's going on. And that costs money, and the suppliers in Japan and Europe and stuff that make it, they want their money for their systems. So.
And I think what's interesting about that is that Skoda have come out, they're part of the VAG group, and they've kind of said that they want to do this kind of sub $25,000 electric car. Now that's pretty incredible if they can actually pull that off, and I gather there's probably going to be a lot of volume to do that. But if we're talking about Suzuki's being $22,000 and Skoda making an electric car that's sub 25. They haven't actually announced they've done it, but they're obviously in the process of working it out enough that they're trying to trickling some stuff out into the media.
Tesla's trying to do that too.
It'll be the VAG Group's cheapest electric car, and then that becomes a no-brainer. From that point on, if you go, do you want a Suzuki for 22 grand or do you want an electric Skoda for 25? Everyone's going to pay the extra to get that.
And what everyone says, but I drive long distance all the time. No, you don't. You do it once a year.
Yeah. And people might hire a car or they might get public transport.
Yeah,
who knows
It'll
what
just
they're
change
going to do.
when it hits them in the wallet. Another one, speaking of rain fingers, electric and hybrid, this is short, don't worry. It's been a race in Australia to get an electric ute out there. A lot of people are talking about it. Years ago, we had politicians who said you can't have electric utes because it'll ruin the weekend, and that kind of got proven wrong over the
Martin,
years.
didn't someone say, let's not utter the name, didn't someone say it's going to ruin the weekend because you can't use an electric car to tow a boat? And then someone got an electric car and towed like a Boeing jet with it.
Yeah. And there's also videos going around. Have a look for Rivians, those new utes that have dropped as well in America. We don't have them here yet. Doing tractor pulls really quietly, launching boats in like deep water, which I do not recommend in any car. I'm talking like driving off a beach and it's up to the windows. Oh, we're going to let our boat off and then driving back out.
Wow,
it's wild.
That's amazing.
Anyway, so there's been a race to get electric utes out generally into the population. In Australia currently, the most popular and common car that most people are buying, if they're not into sports cars, is like a dual cab ute. They're all diesel.
Hiluxes, Navaras, Amarocks, Rangers, D-Maxes.
Ford is now changing back to using some of their petrol stuff because diesel is falling out of fashion with DPF problems and particulate emissions and stuff like that. So surprisingly, the people that have actually sort of looks like they're going to be the first into the market is the Mitsubishi Triton. Which is sort of
really?
Cheap. It's kind of cheaper.
Aren't they like the boring? Aren't they like the? I'm not saying that, but it's
affordable.
Like, it's like the one that when you turn up in that, you're like, you don't want to kind of be in a Triton or something.
Unless you're in, like I'm in a Triton owners group forum page thing because it's interesting. Just heaps of those just to see what goes on, and they love it.
What did you say? Sorry.
Like Triton owners group. Don't you go on any of the groups of all the different cars to see what people are talking about?
Did you say I'm in the Triton owners group?
Yeah, I don't own one, but I have driven a few of them. Yeah. What?
You're in the Triton owners group?
Yeah. Why?
And you don't own one?
I'm in the Navara owners group. I'm not in the Amarok owners group. I'm in the Hilux owners groups. All those.
Yeah, why aren't you in the Amarok one?
Because it's a car, not a ute. Anyway. Look out.
Martin,
I didn't start
brutal.
this to start the dual cab wars. All you need to know, Triton's going to be the first one to do it. Why? Because they've been buzzing around in those Mitsubishi
careful,
Outlander FEVs.
Be careful, mate.
I know, they're good. The V6 ones are good, whatever.
You're playing with vag fire.
Anyway.
Seriously, don't do it, dude.
Anyway, the Triton looks like they're going to use the driveline from the Outlander FEV. Mitsubishi actually got into this area pretty early on with the IMEVs and those other sort of electric cars that were kind of crap. The Outlander FEVs...
How do you know they're kind of crap, Martin? Don't say they're kind of crap unless you own one.
I owned an Outlander.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
There we
and
go.
because I was interested in...
I'm just throwing you a ball there.
Because that's a plug-in hybrid and also has the motor that can drive the wheels with a weird clutch
You've owned
system.
a lot of weird cars.
I
Martin.
have. I like weird
Some of
cars.
our weird cars are in the Mighty Mods book, by the way. People are like, what other weird cars have you got? The back of the new version of the book, that I don't know if the books are sold out. There might actually be like
There'd be a handful left.
20 left of it. If you don't have one yet, now's the time to get one, by the way. Like now is your time. I think they might be sold out, but if you click on the link and they're available, you can get one. Anyway, there's a section at the back of the book that actually has all the different cars that we own that are not the random ones that you see on the show.
So yeah, so Triton's probably gonna have that driveline. The Outlander one's a 2.4 litre petrol engine, and then a couple of like 100 kilowatt electric things. Could be interesting because it runs on petrol, so diesel's out there. I don't think they'll make it diesel. I think they'll use the entire driveline, and it makes good power. I drove one. It felt fast, and it used 2 litres per 100. When I owned it, I put maybe 10,000 k's, 2 litres per 100 on average.
Wow.
Amazing. Including plugging it in at night, not always, but usually.
Martin, I recently drove to the Outback. I took a road trip and I drove out to the Outback. I was in an Amarok, 2 litre, very comfortable, lovely. Fuel usage.
How'd you go on the hills?
When you're towing stuff, you stick it in sport mode. It doesn't
How'd you go
seem
on the
to make a
hills?
difference. Anyway, 29 litres per 100. 29 litres.
Yeah, okay.
And the most that I paid for fuel out there was $2.76 a litre, which was expensive. I had a look just out of interest, once you're in the Outback, once you're in Uluru, what it cost to fly back. The flight from Uluru to Sydney, which is 5,000 k's approximately, was $180.
Yeah.
I was spending 3 times that a day on fuel. Crazy.
But
Before we kick off...
It's a special thing to do.
It's a great thing to do. It's amazing out there. People who go, Australia is full. There's nothing out there.
Massive.
It's interesting. It's
Go and
huge.
see it. If you're not from Australia, when the borders are all open and stuff, you should come and see it.
Go get on it.
It's amazing.
People, news flash, and I know that at least 3% of you want to know about this. Manual's not dead. In
Yeah, it
fact,
is.
manual is...
It's so dead. It's so dead, man. Manufacturers have been killing it forever because no one cares, no one wants it. I'm going to disagree with you on this one, but please tell us why. It's dead when it's not. I mean, it's not dead when it is.
Manual's not dead, everybody. There's a massive resurgence in the interest in manual cars, and manufacturers that are making it are reaping huge rewards both in their sales and their PRness and their stocks.
Well, their PRness, of course, is going to be bigger, better. What am I talking about?
I got an idea, Martin. Just shut up. All right. Manual is not dead. Let's look at some things like the new 400Z, the GR Supra,
That was a big battle,
Mustang.
though. People waited a long time for
the
that.
new 400Z, obviously, is manual, and everyone's really, really excited about that.
Yaris.
Porsche still make a 911 GT something as a manual. And why do they do it? Because there's still a market for it there, particularly in America, where some data has recently come up that people that are interested in manual cars, a number came up. It was controversial, but it's someone who works at Nissan that put the numbers up on the thing. And when it comes to, I don't know how they skewed the numbers, but it was a 40-60 split. 40% of people still interested in manual cars and would buy one. I don't know who did the research or where the research came from, but that is the published figure is 40-60. That is very much at odds of the information that we were reporting over the last couple of years on this show, which 5%. Is a 97 to 3% split,
yeah,
approximately.
Like 5%. That's been the thing for ages.
So definitely now it is a thing. Are people
Subaru,
getting manual
Sportswagen?
because they...
Do they make a manual sports wagon thing?
They
new
don't.
one.
Everybody wants... Oh, wait, on the new WRX wagons manual.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Absolutely it is. Have a look. I'll just check. No, it's not.
Oh. I think they're a WRX.
Sorry to get you all excited.
I think they have a CVT, and the WRX also has a CVT. But I think you can get a manual sedan, but not a manual wagon.
Why?
I don't know.
Subaru lost their way, Martin. Has someone got to help guide them back onto the track?
They've done some pretty... They're a small company. They've done some amazing stuff. I'm a fanboy. There's no secret. I'm a fanboy of some other brands too, but I'm a fanboy of Subaru.
I'm not a fanboy of any brand, by the way. No.
I really think they've done some
Not
cool
even
stuff
all the
because they're a bit of
Volkswagens.
an underdog.
Or the Nissans.
Underdog thing.
Or the Daihatsus.
Because Subaru's a lot smaller than people realise. You know? Anyway, they've made some cool stuff, but they make a manual sports wagon? No! Damn it.
You all right, man?
I'd want a manual sports wagon.
I know you do. It's all right. We'll get you there, don't worry. Everybody, that's the news.
Is it?
In summary,
Manuals are cool.
Manuals are cool.
questionable.
Tritons or whatever. There's electric
Amaroks
cars
can't
coming
go
that
up
are
hills.
cheap. Suzuki's
What
are
else?
making cheap cars that are not cheap anymore. And I believe it's like the 40th anniversary of the Holden Camira, of which I owned one. Why does everybody love the Camira so much?
loves the
Because it's the
Camira.
first Holden that became front-wheel drive.
Look it up.
And
It's
everyone
rubbish.
loved it.
If you're from Australia,
People
you
didn't
know what
like
they
it.
look like. You don't even need to be reminded.
They
You
tried
remember.
to advertise and promote the car as if it was a supercar going to space. They used all this spacey thing, and the car's actually in the ad, instead of sitting like this, it's sitting like this, and it's like to space and what's on the bottom here? Oh, it says magical unicorn food bag. Did you see this?
That's so cool.
Anyway, it's sitting like this, and it's like to space and beyond. That's the news, everybody. Next up, we've got some wonderful laws. We're talking about the Hoon laws on Is That Even Legal? Every week on Is That Even Legal, we look at interesting laws from around the world and kind of explore them in all of their potential legalities. Martin, do
Yes.
you like like drifting?
Yep.
Great. Do
On
you
a
like?
track safely.
Yep, good. What about doing a skid?
Yeah. On a track safely.
Martin, do you like hitting top speed?
Yep. On a track safely.
Okay. Do you like driving in an antisocial behaviour way?
On a track at an event where that's the idea. Yes.
Okay.
Am I supposed to say no?
Martin, no. You know what? Here's the bit where then I go, illegal! But I don't want you being on record going, yes, I do all these
Okay,
because...
well,
because
assuming
you
I
don't.
was on a road doing those things, that would be...
That would be illegal. Today we're looking at the anti-hoon laws. I'm looking at the Summary Offences Act of 1953, Section 48A. No, I'm not. We're not talking about anti-hoon laws today. I totally forgot what we're talking about. Martin, Martin, let's pretend someone stole your new bike.
Oh, no, I'd be devastated. I'd be devastated if someone stole my new bike.
I'm doing the wrong bit.
That's all right.
It's the law I wanted to do, and now it's a different law.
That's fine.
Let's just pretend that this is all starting again. Shh, shh. Each week on Is That Even Legal, we explore different laws from around the world. Martin, let's pretend that you just bought a new bike.
We don't have to pretend I did buy a new bike.
You did buy a
So
new bike,
good.
Martin. It's
Oh
so
my
good.
God.
Now let's pretend, Martin, that someone stole it.
No.
I know.
But
awful.
I'd be wanting to get it back, right?
Yeah, you'd be
I'd
wanting
be
to
going
get it back.
I'd be
You
like
would.
shaking trees and being like, get out of the tree, bike.
Martin, not only would you be shaking a tree, I imagine what you might do is you might print out a piece of paper that goes, hey, someone took my bike.
Reward.
Just bring it back. I'll give you $500. No questions asked. Just leave it here and off you go. What do you think?
Yeah.
Illegal.
Really?
Illegal. I'm going to actually read you. Now, sometimes the stuff I get is from some website that is unquestionable. I'm looking at here,
Very
this is the
questionable.
South Australian Current Acts Offences 1953, Section 48A. Let me read this out to you. 48A. Advertising rewards for the return of property stolen or lost. I'm actually going to read it because I think it's interesting, and sometimes we gloss over this.
Yep.
Where a person publicly advertises a reward for the return of any property, such as a bike that's been stolen or lost, and by that advertisement indicates, no questions will be asked of the person returning the property.
Right.
Or the person returning the property will be safe from apprehension or investigation, or the money paid for the purchase of that property or advanced by way of loan on the property will be repaid. The person and any person who prints or publishes the advertisement is guilty of an offence.
Oof.
I shit you not, it's illegal.
So I'm not allowed to say, reward, bring my bike back?
No. Illegal. Illegal. Now, what's interesting about that is we see that kind of thing a lot.
Heaps.
The maximum penalty, though, and here's where things get tricky. Let's assume your bike's worth $5,000, $10,000. Maybe it's a motorbike worth 50. I don't know, but let's assume it's worth. Let's just choose a number of $10,000. The penalty for this is $500.
Right.
So in a way, looking at the money, if you've got to spend $500 to give someone $500, you're $1,000 out to get your $10,000 bike back, but you have committed an offence.
Yeah.
So in short...
So it's an $11,000 bike.
it's a bike plus GST. In short, you cannot advertise a reward for the return of the money. If you do that, any person who prints or publishes that is guilty of an offence.
Wow.
I don't know if you... I mean, look, it's a $500 fine.
Illegal.
It's
there
illegal.
You go, people.
Did you learn something?
The big
There
ones.
it is.
Next up, we have one of my favourite sections, which is tinfoil hat cap. Tinfoil Hat Cat, we explore the conspiracy theories, the rubbish conspiracy theories that are circulating around, and we
Did you just say they're rubbish conspiracy theories?
Conspiracy theories.
No, because
are rubbish.
half the week you believe these. Half of the stories that you tell, I honestly believe that you believe them, because some of them I don't think are conspiratorial. Some of them I think are real. Like today's one, I don't think is a conspiracy.
I don't know. It sounds a bit far-fetched.
No, it doesn't.
We're just explaining. All right, here's the thing. Now, there's been some noise lately about new phones coming out.
Is there a new iPhone, Martin? I haven't seen that as the #1 trending video on every single platform, every news thing, everywhere I look.
What's the first thing people talk about when they talk about the new phones? They don't talk about, well, I can speak to my Aunt Martha a bit clearer because it sounds better. That's so much beeping.
Really?
I've never
but
heard so
isn't
many
that the
goats.
first thing that you think?
No. Is that what you think?
Yes.
Okay, good. Most people don't think about that.
Really?
They think about...
Dude, there's apps for that. There's apps that actually do that.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. It's not
They've,
important.
on the screen, there's a
I know,
slider.
but
You can actually change.
It doesn't matter. It's not...
No, but you're asking what's the first... That's what they want to know.
That's not the first thing.
They want to know if that function is any stronger than the previous one. Might not be what you think about, but that is what...
Earlier you asked me to
most
stop
people
talking.
are trying to work out...
They're not working out how to... That's not what they're
Dude,
doing.
most people are trying to work
They're getting bigger
out how
phones.
they can use their phone to... They are.
If that was the case, why do they keep making them bigger? Oh, that kind of answers itself, doesn't it? Because you
So is that
had
the
small
conspiracy?
one and then you get the maxi one. No, the conspiracy is the fact.
Next up, we've got...
Oh my God, that's not the conspiracy.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing people talk about with new phones, whether it's a Samsung, Apple, Fruit, Orange, whatever it is.
Fruit and orange. See, Martin, I think you are on the same page as me.
Cameras. That's all anyone cares about. Is the camera better? I want better cameras so I can take better selfies to upload on my things so more people like
Do
my
the cameras
things.
need to be better, though? Aren't they
Well-
already good?
Apparently the reasoning is, this is unconfirmed, is that the resolution is better because you know when your phone comes up and says wants to use your camera and then you can be like, yes, well, using always allow, blah, blah, blah. When you press always allow and you have your phone up and you're talking to someone and going, hey, what's going on? It's scanning around.
Oh.
Sorry. It's scanning around and it's like it needs the highest possible resolution to take in your surroundings for augmented reality so that when they build the big metaverse thing, they know exactly how to not only reconstruct it, that's only part of it. Most importantly, how to advertise to you.
Martin.
So it's scanning the 3D space constantly. So when this metaverse thing
As
comes
a
up,
swarm.
we full go into the
Dude,
Matrix.
that is not a conspiracy.
We go into the Matrix,
Dude,
all of a sudden we plug in, put these things on, and as someone who wore glasses for a long time, the last thing I want to do is walk around wearing glasses, but that's where it's going, people. That's what people want.
I hope it doesn't.
And so they're currently using this to test and to get
So
as
the cameras
much
are really
information.
good, just to get as much
Do you know how you
data as they
prove it?
can.
Does your phone do the measure thing where you have an app that measures stuff, like it goes, meh, meh, and you can go, that's 8 metres? It's doing that all the time. It's measuring your whole room. It knows that your room's 12 by 12 and with a 4-metre ceiling. It knows where your lights are. And so when it dives you into this metaverse, it's all going to feel and look very familiar. And then when they have a little thing on the wall saying you should buy whatever snack, whatever thing they
I'll tell you what you should be buying,
They try to
everybody.
try
When
and
you
make
go
you
to buy Kalaka Crunch, they know. Martin,
So that's the theory. That's
Martin,
why the
I
cameras are
actually-
getting so much better. That's why they can do 3D scanning as well. You can actually do 3D scanning on
I don't
an
think
iPad
that's.
now.
I don't think that's.
I reckon it's.
I don't think
that
that's
sounds a little bit.
conspiracy,
It
dude.
sounds a bit far-fetched.
No, it doesn't.
I look up the far-fetched
Dude,
ones,
I'm
but
already
also,
there.
but
No.
also, it's kind of realistic too. A lot of this. But I
dude,
think it'll be a bit more upfront. I don't think it's going to be that sneaky, but I think it's going to happen.
Of course it's going to be that sneaky, dude. Of course it is. Everything's sneak these days. Do you know what they're not going to be able
What's
to
next?
scan? No, seriously. If that is true and that's what's happening, they are going to have a perfect recreation of the inside of my asshole. Aren't they? Because every day they're going to be able to see it going in, moving. I'm basically giving myself a colonoscopy on a daily basis on maximum vibration.
That's not what it's for.
No, but they'll know that now. Because they'll know. It's like the iRobot vacuums, the little robot things. They go around the house scanning everything.
You'll be
It's
able
that,
to make some
scanning the-
serious money selling that 3D model. Seriously, like when we go in the metaverse and what do you want to do today? I want to go into here. How do you know what it looks like in here? Well, we've been gathering data for the last 14 years, right back since the iPhone 3. That's what we're going to... This has gotten very silly. This show is not a silly show. It's very serious. It's time to move on to my...
Fanking.
No, it's my crap car.
It's my fanking. No, crap car
All
comes
right,
later.
fine.
It's time to move on to my fanking. According to the Urban Dictionary, fanking is the delightful art of recontextualising a product's name by taking a photo of it down near your crotch.
Sounds familiar.
Originated from the internet show The Unicorn Circuit. Examples of it can be found at the Facebook page at Fanking Daily.
Yep.
Barry.
That's us.
I was fanking the other day and my fank got fank of the week. Cheryl. Good work, Barry.
And it's submitted by the Blue Turd on June 19, 2018.
Oh, great! Well done.
the Blue Turd.
That is the top
good.
ranking for the Urban Dictionary. Anyway, there it is. I don't even need to read that. Fanking is the delightful art of recontextualising a photos. No, we're taking photos down near your crotch. All right. Here we go, this week. Now, most of these, Martin, I started going, gee, there's some good fanks, gee, they're good, and then only after getting about 10 of them, I realised that one particular person was just on a fankathon.
Oh, it's
they
a
basically
fankathon.
came from one guy, and a lot of it are Australian products, so he just went nuts. Thank you very much. Here it is, straight up, Aussie Bush. There you go.
Solid.
Thank you for sending that in. Martin, what about a cocky slam?
That's good.
That's pretty good. That's
I
Woolies.
like to slam some cockies that eat my nuts. They do. They eat my freaking macadamia nuts, those cockies.
Do they?
I'll cocky slam them. You're not allowed to, by the way. Give the old cocky slam. Get off my tree, dickhead. What are you doing? Cocky slam. What, you've never done a cocky slam? What about Tim Tam slam?
That's a butt
They eat my nuts. Like, I want to eat my nuts, but they eat my nuts. They crack them and everything.
Puffy,
no, they eat
that's
the
a
green shells.
Puffy stick. That's just a puffy stick. Zap. That's Henry's wet patch.
Oh, unfortunate. He needs them stop leak.
He does. 90% cock. What I was interested in, what's the other 10%?
Balls. Do we have a balls fank?
Martin,
Because it's probably balls. 90% cock, 10% balls.
maybe 90% of it's cock and the rest of it's the ring. It's the
okay.
cock ring, which kind of is.
Oh, dude, there's so much cock in this one.
There
the
is
next
so
one's a cock
much.
ripple.
That one's a cock ripple. Because yep, and it goes, golden rain.
These are very creative. I've seen these brands a lot.
They're very good, but there's a lot of new ones, which is great. Root Loops.
I think we've seen that before, but
Have
that's
we seen
very
Root Loops? Anyway, that was
Root
great.
oops. No, it's a root oops.
Oh, Root. Oh, it's Root.
Root
Oops. Oh, there's the bishop's
Yeah,
finger.
seen him before.
Byron Bay cock, full of dreads, just hanging on either side. Just a big dreaded one. That's a cock pop right there. I didn't even know they made gluten-free. Martin, did people
They
used
do.
to
They're
be
really
gluten-free?
good. Have you had them?
You haven't had them,
I've
dude.
had gluten-free cock pops.
No,
I mean,
you
Cocoa
haven't,
Pops.
Martin.
Sorry. Cocoa
Dude,
Pops. I have.
30 years ago, were people gluten intolerant?
Yes.
But there was no gluten-free food then.
No. So people just had like really
Oh, so people were just sick all the time.
nasty runny shits all the time and didn't know why.
I reckon that the gluten-freeness, I have no basis of telling you, I reckon that it's kind of a new thing that's accelerating. I don't know, it's genetic
it's
or what it is. but I
inflammatory. It's
reckon a thing.
inflammation, mate.
I'm not trying to inflammatory like any
No,
person.
but no, not what you're saying. The food. 'Cause it's
Specialists
rubbish. Because
in
it's
wide-
refined shite, and you need to not Cocoa Pops specifically. Don't see me. I mean, like, just don't eat refined shit. Go eat a carrot. Go grow a carrot and eat it. You'll be surprised how good you feel.
Specialists in
Love
wide
those.
and deep. This person sent the DIY Pussy Lad. Look at the stretch on it. And we've got here Cocky Fingers.
The cocky
I'm sure
slam.
that's the same
But
guy.
then after the cocky slam, you get cocky fingers, don't you? Because you smell like bird. You know what I mean? Like, because you whack the bird and the birds leave grease everywhere. Has a bird ever hit your window and you see an outline of the bird, and then it flies away because it's fine, but then there's the outline of the bird and its face is all sideways and all messed up. Little bits of drool hanging out. Don't put reflective tint on your window. Ask me how I know.
I'm just going to keep going.
Good
Soft and
thing.
juicy. I'm going through them quickly here. It's an old-fashioned joke, which made me wonder what's a new fashion. Like, what's the new
It
style?
probably involves
you know?
your augmented reality iPhone.
No artificial colours or flavoured lube, and that one's sprinkled with sweetness, which is
Nice.
interesting. Martin, and I do believe
These
now,
fanks are-
that was the second fank of the week, that was the runner-up, and now for the fank of the week, Martin, a drum roll, please. Fank of the week, here we go, for lovers of cock. Now, if you would
so
like
much-
to send us in one of your fanks, we'd love to see them. Head down to your local pet store, head down to your local dogging situation of dog treats or foods, takeaways, hardwares, anywhere. I mean, the dog stuff seems to be funny whenever there's dog-related stuff. And you can put them on the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Fanking Daily. There's a few fake ones out there. They're not us. They just copied us. They're not us. Martin, next up, is it My Dirty Unicycle?
It's a special. It is actually in mycrapcar. Every week we do a thing called mycrapcar. It's one of our favourite segments.
Every week.
It's where
every week.
You've been saying every week all episode.
I know, it is every week.
Times he said every week. And
no, Martin, here's a fact.
Eat a Squizzler.
Every week time that we do the show is a week.
It's a week.
Yep.
That's true.
Absolutely.
It is a week.
Martin, apparently we did a call out for unicycles.
We did.
In last week's show.
So long ago, I can't even remember.
It was last week's show.
But apparently we did a call out for unicycles, and you guys delivered. So we are going to do a bit of a best of the best. You know what? We're chucking them all in. Unless you're nude, we're putting it in there.
So there's one that's not making it in then.
Backwards.
The guy that sent his unicycle with no seat. Sorry, you're not making it in. But everyone else, here it is.
Unicorn circuit.
Hey, unicorn circuit time. Woo! Well, that's right. Cheers, guys.
Just so much unicycles.
Thank you so much. Thanks for sending it in. That was amazing.
Of unicycles. In fact, you could all hang out together and create an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, if there was that many of them.
No hands.
Thank you very much for sending those in. And of course, if you want to send us a video of your crap car or your crap unicycle, in fact, send us a video of a crap vacuum. I know someone out there's got a crap vacuum. It just doesn't work anymore. It sucks hard, but not anymore. It just sucks. Or any appliance around your house. It could be a toaster.
But it has to still work. You've got to still be using it.
It's got to work, but it's like anyone that comes to your house is like, why are you using this shite? You know, so send us a crap appliance. I'd love to see it. We'll put it on the show. Your appliance will be famous. Then you can eBay it. A my crap appliance, because, you know, we're going the same way as the car industry, just turning them into appliances.
That's true.
Martin,
except for this thing. I drove this the other day. It's so good, man. You drove it. Remember you drove it?
Yeah, it was
You're on the
fast.
track and you revved it?
Yeah, of course I did.
I had no idea it was that fast.
Oh, it's fast. It's great.
You don't care for red lines, do you? Like a red line is a visual red line matters not. A hard mechanical red line cut matters.
That doesn't matter either. That's just getting in the way. I don't like when machines or computers stop me from doing what I want to do.
That's so true, yeah.
I don't like
when
that
they
at
take
all.
your mouse away from you.
What was it recently that was? It was a robotic lawnmower that we saw. Remember, they were doing a demo, and I was like, oh, press the demo button, and then it goes, ning. I've done enough mowing today.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't, bitch. What are you talking about? I just pressed the mow button. And it said, no, I've done enough mowing today. I'm going to return to my base.
Because I feel like during our recent race of the midget versus the K-truck, which was so fun, check it out if you haven't already seen it.
It was one of the best races ever.
He was losing. Like, you can see straight from the start that he's losing. And then there's a point where he just goes, I can rev it harder. And then he started winning.
Yeah, because I was going to like, okay, that's the first time I've driven the car, by the way. That's the first time I've ever driven the midget. And I was like, 5,000, 5,000. That's not working. I'm going to keep going. Even though in the video I'd worked out that it can go up to like 8 or 7.5 or whatever it was. And then I started going, oh, cool, I'm going to start revving more. And then I won.
And then you
won. Martin, I replied to someone, I don't often reply. Someone said, Marty sandbagged that race. No. I think the word sandbagging means that you try to lose. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
For what purpose? And also, to sandbag
I was winning at the start. I was winning. I was ahead of you.
But by milliseconds would be difficult. Like the difference between your time and mine is milliseconds.
0.5, half a second, exactly.
So anyway,
that was interesting. And
again, there's no motivation for either of us to win or lose other than the bragging rights of my midget is faster than your truck, which, like, let's be honest, not great bragging rights.
Exactly. And also, it's hard to show in a video what it's like to be in that truck and be sitting this high off the ground with all your centre of gravity reasonably high and a very heavy tipper on the back, and you tip a thing, and like when you tip a car around a track and it grips, it doesn't feel like that in a little K truck with little like tyres this big on. It's sketchy. And I was actually, mostly when I was powering on, it was wheel spinning.
Yeah. Mine wasn't wheel spinning, but what was interesting is with my drum brakes, you go around a corner and braking during a corner, which is a bad idea anyway. Like, you should be braking on the straight, going around the corner, accelerating your way up. But sometimes, first time driving a car, a little bit too fast, you come in, turn, brake, back comes out, and then you accelerate, and it can keep a little skid on.
Either way, very
it's
fun.
a great little car.
One of the most enjoyable races we've done, and the speed being lower actually is kind of cool.
Yeah,
it was really enjoyable.
I think we maxed out at like 80 k's an hour, which is pretty cool.
About that.
Martin, we've got a couple of mail bags, and then we've got some random meat bag, and I suggest we eat some of the stuff out of the bag. back of, like, I have no problem eating stuff out of cars, as anyone who's watched Marty and Moog for the last 15 years would know. Now I get to do it in spirit with this, so we're going to get to that soon. We're going to eat some of that stuff. But first, we do have a couple of other things that arrived in the mailbag this week. If you'd like to send us something to the show, of course you can, to the Unicorn Circuit, PO Box 475, Sydney Markets 2129 Australia. We got two things this week. This one here has come from the UK. God rest the Queen. No,
this one has Pokemon. This one has Pokemon stamps all over it, which is kind of cool.
This one says the description of contents is toy cars and balls.
Nice.
And the balls have a value of 5. Martin, why do they call GDP pounds? Great British pounds? GBP? What is GBP?
Great British Pounds, yes.
Great British Pounds.
Pounds sterling, apparently.
You've had a couple of those.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Sterling, yeah, I've got some sterling. What is this? What is this? What is this?
That looks like Mighty Cummods merchandise, Martin.
Yeah, but there's no description. I reckon this might be custom lot. What is it? Oh, no. I know what this is.
What is it?
Oh, no, it's a bag.
Oh, it's another bag.
Oh, that's sick.
Dude, that's a rad bag.
That's awesome.
And that's using an actual Mighty Cummods lanyard
This is amazing.
as the strap.
Uh,
Who were you?
Do you know who made this?
No.
My mum. She was asking me the other day, she was like, are you going to do another Unicorn Circuit soon? I'm like, yeah, maybe. We do it every week.
Is this your mum's writing though, or is
Yes, it is. I just twigged, and but it's got, she's made us a bag, dude. So that's a microfiber towel that she's made into the base of the bag, and then used a lanyard. She asked me for some merch, and now it makes sense as to why.
Right.
And that's the Super Garage colours, dude.
Oh, it is. It's a Super Garage and dude, that's really cool.
That's so cool.
Thank you, Marty's mum.
Well done.
And
Thanks,
thank
that
you
was a
so
good
much
surprise.
for letting us use your driveway for all those years. And we're sorry all your neighbours got cranky.
It's all right. They're fine. They're fine.
That's amazing.
Half the neighbours have chopped fingers.
Thank you very much. Martin,
Look
I
at
believe
that's a good match with my Super
that
Turbo.
took a long time to get here, I reckon, because
When
that
was it
there
sent?
was sent on 23rd of the 5th, 22.
Whoops.
That's like
No wonder
5
she
months
was
ago.
asking about it.
I remember your mum was she was calling me in August. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I was on the phone and I said, and you were like, why is my mum calling you? Oh, it's about birthday stuff, whatever. I didn't know it was this, but I knew something was on the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to take 5 months to get here. But I knew that something was coming on the way. So thank you very much. That's
very
awesome.
Cool. Good job.
I don't think this is from my mum.
Mad skills.
But let's have a look and see what we've got in here. Martin, I did want to do just today for the Unicorn Circuit people, because I know it's been a little while since we've done a show, excuse me, I just wanted to give them a discount of like 12%.
But
I know some people do 5%. And it'll only be for Unicorn people, and it'll only be for 2 days.
Sure.
And for them, so you can get anything you want from the shop.
Oh, that's cool.
And anything you want.
We have mugs. We also have coasters now, which is cool.
And we also have, Martin, which
Roller
is brand
coasters.
new. Watch, I'm going to try and do it really quickly. Watch this. Are you ready, everybody? We also have this item, which is really cool. New bucket hat. Look at that. So I reckon
You look like
maybe
you're ready to go fishing.
I reckon maybe what we do, Martin, is the code word we just do bucket.
Bucket.
But you can have anything you want, obviously. You don't have to have the bucket hat. But please don't share this code around with everybody on the Reddits and all the groups and all whatever, because this is just for the Unicorn people that have stayed for this long. And we know there's 37 of you at least. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
38 bucket hats.
So, yeah, we'll order that in. So just enter the word bucket. Why 12%? It's more than 10. And I think that's kind of cool.
All right. Cool. What's in here?
You can also get, Martin, do you know what? This is another thing. We also have like
Dude, I reckon this chip
we
is
have a new
structurally rigid enough.
black range of stuff. Can you see that? That there is a chopped hat that has black chopped fingers on it. We got a black edition. There's a whole thing on the website of just black stuff. We'll link it down below.
Dude, this
Anyway,
chip
thank you very
is
much.
strong enough to open masking tape. Look.
Is it?
Look. I just opened masking tape with a chip.
Well, I'm going to get another one of these chips
How do I
to
open
open more masking tape with it.
It's
Oh,
making a
okay,
mess.
yeah.
It's making a mess.
So, go and grab yourself something mad. Martin, we need a little knife on this show
No, we don't.
to open things up. All right. That there looks like a couple of somethings. I've got a note What are we going to find inside,
Ooh,
Martin?
this
That
looks
is the
fancy.
question.
Looks very fancy. What is this?
Ooh. It's a nice velvet bag.
Someone's gone to some effort in this packaging.
Someone's gone to some real effort.
Oh, that's sick.
Is that a little mini car?
Dude, that's a Mark 1 Volkswagen Golf, which I reckon is intended for you.
And that there is a Honda City Turbo
Sick.
2. Look at that. Dude,
That's
they're
awesome.
unreal.
Thank you very
That's
much.
a tuned
Got
Volkswagen
a mad
Golf
little
Mark
collection
1.
of these now. What are these?
And you've got some balls, and I have...
Does it have a note? Or are we never going to know? Because we're never going to know, are we? There's no note.
Oh, Martin, I think this is... No, I don't.
Is this a note?
I think it's a little trophy. I think... What do we got? We got a photo of a car, and we've got a little bit of... I don't know what that is.
I picked up aisle of a local budget supermarket with your chaps. Oh, cool.
What is it all, Martin?
Hot Wheels.
They're Hot
What's the
Wheels,
other
but
thing?
what's this?
Second-hand.
It appears to be a trophy of some kind, or something that someone's made.
I actually don't know.
Have you managed to work it out?
But he sent a photo of his dog, whose name is Marty.
Oh, that's
I don't
cool.
know of any dogs called Marty before.
I wonder if
pretty
he's
cool.
as full of shit as you
Oh,
are.
and he's got a full drive thing too.
Great. Thank you very much.
Very cool. Thanks. Hot
He sent
Wheels.
us this, and he sent us some marbles. Martin, I've got a feeling these marbles go on top
I think you're right.
of that. But why do they go on top, Martin?
Wants a nugget exchange. So it sounds like we're sending him a Hot Wheel.
What does that
as
do?
well.
Do you eat them?
I don't know. I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either.
Although you have eaten lots of things out of cars. Is that it? Are we sorted?
Martin,
no,
that's
eat
it.
bag. Where's eat bag?
This is the eat bag, remember? Anyway,
are we
so
gonna
that's
eat
next
from it?
up. Next up, we got random eat bag. Every week on the show, we expand our minds by expanding our mouths. This week, we are delving into the boot of the Super Turbo. Martin, I want those
We are
crunchy
going to try
things.
it. And what's this?
We're-
oh,
we're-
dude, macadamias that the coffee stole.
Oh, I love macadamias.
I'm gonna try
Martin,
them.
we are going to try a Kalaka Crunch, which is
these are small,
distributed by Aloha Edibles. And I believe it's
Wow.
just going to be a crunchy, sweet treat. It's actually good to have a different thing because we've never had...
Maui onion and garlic dry roasted macadamia. That's
Maui.
good, man. Man, if the cockies hadn't got to mine, my nuts would taste this good.
Martin, that looks like a puffed... It's a strange looking thing, isn't it? Oh,
Good or weird?
so much different to it. Oh,
That is so sweet.
so sweet. That's like an obese Skittle, isn't it?
Oh, it's like a Skittle on, like, supercharged Skittle.
Wow. Well,
Botan rice candy. Free
That's
stickers
intense.
inside. They're intense. I mean, if you like Skittles, oh,
that's a
some
Skittle
of
that
them.
mated with a rice bubble, and then they got
and
fat.
then like turn the sweetness up to a million. Like my mouth feels weird from it.
Thank you very
These are
much
good
for
though.
watching another episode of the show. Anyone that is here, the code word is bucket. You're going to get 12% off the Mighty Come On
Unicorn
shop.
circuit only.
Unicorn circuit only. We are going to turn it off in about 2 days. That will apply to the Mighty Come On's book that we did mention, which is going to be a substantial discount because they're $70. I don't know if there's any left. You might click on the thing, it might say they're gone. There's very, very few of those left.
And once they're gone, they're gone.
And then they're gone. So, and we'll sign it for you as well, of course. So there it is. That's the show. Thank you very much. See you next week. Keep your eye on the main Mighty Come On's channel. If you haven't seen the Midget vs. K-Tripper battle yet, the K-Tipper, check it out. It was just excellent. Lots of fun. And of course, we'll see you next time on the Unicorn Circuit or next time on the main Mighty Come On's channel. Thank you very much, Unicorn viewers. Thanks for hanging with
2 or
us. We
3
really
days from
enjoyed
now,
doing the
people,
show.
new build dropping's going to be huge.
It might not actually be in 2 or 3 days. It might be in like 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah, it might be, because there's some other stuff. There's the stuff that I want to do with my little Honda.
Nope.
That's getting the new battery, remember?
Nope.
Unicorn circuit.
Each week on the show... No, it's not. Holy
Delightful
shit.
art.
Yep. Fanking is the delightful art. We need to go get our shit changed in Urban Dictionary, those other bastards. That Fanking's not even the top-rated thing anymore. Can we fix that shit? For starters, I'm going to send everyone
What
there.
is it? What are you sending an angry email?
Fanking Urban
Dude, you got no Wi-Fi.
Dictionary.
You got to.
What's this shit?
You got to do the thing. There you go.
I'm pretty sure we are not the top the top definition of fanking anymore.
Is that really something we should be that concerned about?
How dare you?
Never have I seen you get so triggered by anything except not...
Oh, we're number
No,
one.
we're back.
Fanking.
We're back. The delightful art of recontextualizing a product's name by taking a photo of it down near your crotch originated from the internet show The Unicorn Circuit. Examples can be found on the Facebook page of Fanking Daily.
Oh, I'm going to read that exactly as is. All right, here we go.